JD Talkin Sports. All right, that's all I had to say on that front. Yeah, well, you know. All right, big news today. Big freaking news. Mike Tomlin steps down after 19 years as, yeah, I want to get that a little lower. 19 years as coach of the, what's up, HGJ? 19 years as coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also tonight, I just want to get this out there. So UConn is 16-0. They're going against the 14-2 Seton Hall Pirates, who are ranked for the first time in 4 years at 25. And the game is on HBO Max and True TV. That's a game that should be on like ESPN, something, a big goddamn channel, not stuck on True. No offense, but Big East, True TV. And I know that Cocky, that's what we call him now. We're going to call Barnes Cocky B. But, I mean, and the lower bowl isn't even sold out. So, I mean, it kind of sucks. You wouldn't want the fans there, but they're not going to be there. I mean, we'll see what kind of turnout they have. Game's on at 8 o'clock tonight. Back to Tomlin. Okay. 19 years, steps down. 13 years, he went to the playoffs. Playoffs? Never had a losing season. He had 8 seasons. 19 years, 13 of 19 seasons in the playoffs. 12 of 19 seasons, 10 plus wins, 193, 114, and 2 at 628 winning percentage, 8 and 12 of the playoffs. That's a 400 winning percentage. Lost his last 7 in a row and last 5 in a row by double digits. Now, they were down 7-3 at the end of the third quarter. They had a fumble return for a touchdown. They also had a pick six. Aaron Rodgers, who was yanked after that one. So 2 touchdowns on that and 5 turnovers by I want to say Brees Hall, and I'm C.J. Stroud. He had 3 fumbles on shotguns. Shotgun. I can't use my words today. My words aren't coming out today. But on shotgun formation, he had 3 drops there. He only lost 2, but it was 3-0 in turnovers. And they had no points to show for it. Actually, the first 2, they had 10 plays for 9 yards. So they didn't strike when the coal was hot, when the iron was hot, right? The iron was hot. I can't even get my sayings today. I'm a little flummoxed today. But just an ugly loss last. I mean, listen, the defense of the Texans, Willie Anderson Jr. and Daniel Hunter combined for 15 pressures, 1.5 sacks. Anderson's 1 sack and strip led to Sheldon Rankins, who had a sack and a half himself, for a touchdown. Bullock had a touchdown on the pick six, and it looked like when I saw it that Aaron Rodgers made a business decision. It was like, oh, nope, I'm not making the tackle on this one. So I did a deep dive on Tomlin. He went to he won a Super Bowl second year. They beat the Cardinals 27-23 in a game that Santana Moss had that game-winning touchdown. I was rooting for the Cardinals. I really want the Cardinals to win. But that before halftime, that 100-yard return for a touchdown by and Rob will know who I'm talking about. And I see his face. Who was the defensive lineman, the linebacker who? And it's not Kirkland. Who ran back that touchdown for 100 yards, Rob, against the Steelers? Man, so 2008, second year they won a Super Bowl. 2 years later, they lost to Green Bay 31-25. Yeah, Harrison, thank you. Harrison ran that back. They lost to Aaron Rodgers. They lost to Chip in 2016 to the Pats. So 3 total AFC championship games. 2 of them were Super Bowl years. Cowher and him both went 1-1 in Super Bowls. And Cowher went to 4 other conference championship games that he lost. I remember when he lost to the Chargers that year, and the Chargers ended up 94 ended up getting blown out by the Steve Young's only Super Bowl, 49-27 against the Chargers, and that was a game we should have won. And then there was the 15-1 year was that his first or second year? Was that his second? What year was Big Ben? I think it was Big Ben's second year where they lost 41-27 to the Pats. They had that phenomenal season. And they didn't win anything. But that was not him. That was not him. Was that Cowher? Yes. That wasn't under Cowher. Wasn't Cowher the 15-1 season under Cowher? Because he didn't take over till 2007. So since I've been born, 69, yeah, that was Ben's rookie year when they lost. Okay. They went 15-1. That was a hell of a season. And they ended up losing the championship game at Pittsburgh, and it was Cowher. Thank you, HEJ. But I thought he had a lot of teams that should have won championships before that last one, and I thought he retired, but he came back for one more year. They went 8-8, and they hired a new coach in um, in Tomlin. So I mean that was a good move on their part. Let me see. I told everybody about the. Oh, okay, nobody cares about. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about football. So I looked up Cowher. I looked up this. Oh, this was interesting too. Now Rob does not want a college coach. I brought up. He said two examples I brought up were Jimmy Johnson and who else did we bring up? Rob, who else did we bring up besides Jimmy Johnson going from college to the pros that was successful? Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll went Pete Carroll went from Harbaugh. Yeah. And Harbaugh actually, but Harbaugh coached in the NFL, went to college and then came back. Same thing with Carroll. Carroll went pro college back. So Jimmy Johnson is the only guy I could think of that actually works. So, but Randy wants Cignetti and Mendoza to come to the Raiders. And you know what? Now I heard Marcus Freeman is staying with Notre Dame, but we'll see if that comes. And right now he's staying. Yeah. And Harbaugh was Stanford before the NFL. Yes, and he was successful there with a program and he had Andrew Luck. But yes, he's won everywhere he's won. Except I don't understand. I read something yesterday that the offense was confused of what the defense was running, the Pats defense was running in the playoff game, which to me doesn't sound like a Jim Harbaugh coach team. And I know that now Justin Herbert's now 0-3 in playoff games. Did not play well in the game, but the whole team didn't play well. There was a series before halftime. They got interception, tip ball. So they're first and goal at the 10, 3 runs by Herbert, and then fourth down, he tries to run again and doesn't get in. And I just was like, they can't do anything on offense. It was an ugly game. I didn't think that the Pats offense was that good. And Brandon says that he reads, he makes his reads quick. But I'll tell you, that Texans defense, and Hal was like, I wish my father was alive to see this. I said he was watching. That defense is so good, but as Big Ben said yesterday in the Manning cast, you can't have that many turnovers and expect to win playoff games. I mean, they stepped in shit yesterday, but he also had over 100 yards by Woody Marks. And who was the Christian Kirk had 140 yards receiving. Christian Kirk. Now, I know he signed that big contract with the Jags and then kind of flamed out, but Christian Kirk had a phenomenal game. And C.J. Stroud threw a terrible interception in the second half at the end zone, a red zone interception where just throw it away. And I don't know what he's doing. I'll tell you, I don't know if they can win with him at quarterback. I just don't think he's good enough. But that defense is so freaking good. And I'm not feeling. I think I forgot to look who's favored in the Pats. Who's favored in that? Lines on the NFL playoffs. Lines NFL. Let me look here. Lines NFL playoff. Lines NFL playoffs. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Divisional round. Seattle 6.5 over San Francisco. Denver 1.5 over Buffalo. While the Rams 4 over Chicago and the Patriots 3. That's the only thing. I really think that first of all, I think the Broncos can be beaten by the Bills. I don't think the Broncos defense. And I saw something posted by a Bills beat writer that's saying that their defense has not been good their EPA per play defense is in the bottom half, not the top half. And Bo Nix is susceptible to having bad games. I like the Bills. Now I know that he's dealing with injuries, Josh Allen, but he's going to play in the goddamn game. He's going to play. It's not going to be. But I kind of like Cignetti and Mendoza. Now Cignetti's got a huge contract, but he turned around an Indiana program that had never won 10 games in a season, and now they're going to play for a national championship against the Canes. So I kind of like that with Randy. I like that one. Also, Bills lost Gabe Davis and Terrell Shavers both tore the ACLs against the Jags, which was no bueno. So we talked about that. Yeah, Tomlin won the AFC North 8 times. Hey, he stepped down. He was tired of hearing it. I looked up Harbaugh, too, because I got into a little argument with HEJ. Not really an argument, but, discussion, where I think Harbaugh's best days are past him. But 18 years, he went 180-13, 614 winning percentage, 3 losing seasons in 18 years, 11 seasons, 10-plus wins. 12 playoff seasons out of 18. He won a Super Bowl in 2012. He's been 3-6 since he got Lamar. So I looked that up. He is 13-11 overall in the playoffs, but he's been to the 2008 chip they lost to Pittsburgh 23-14. 2011, they lost to the Pats 23-20. 2012, they won the Super Bowl. And 2023, they lost at home to they did not play a good game that day, 17-10. But, I said, I feel like his best days are past him. He was a 2019 Coach of the Year. You know, I, I know he's probably the best candidate out there. I was saying, what about Cignetti? He goes to the college game. I feel like Cignetti has turned around that whole program and done it with older players. And I know Rob wants discipline with the Giants, but I feel like Cignetti is the guy that kind of is going to be the kind of guy who comes in and is no bullshit and is going to come in and run the roost. Oh, also, Dale, thank you for coming on yesterday to talk about Oregon football. I know we had a short show yesterday, but I'm glad we got a show in, and I love having him on. And they picked up a cornerback, a DB from Minnesota who was a freshman All-American, made some All Big Ten teams last year. So they're picking up players, and we'll see what happens. When that happens, we'll have Dale back on to talk about that. Also, Amazon Prime, 31.6 million views for the Green Bay Chicago. They're saying it's the most streamed game in NFL history. Thank you, Andrew Marchand. 9 teams changing coaches, one shy of the record 10 back in 78, 97, 2006, 2022. Yes, and a lot of good transfers. You got a Michigan cornerback, and I don't know who else. You got a bunch of, yeah. I mean, you all have to do it, but I still think it's really the recruits you bring in. I mean, it's nice to have transfer portal pieces, but I still think you need to have that foundation of guys that you're getting, you're recruiting, because that's how you build a team. Because a lot of these guys only have 1 year eligibility, and then you got to replace them anyway. So you'd like to have depth that guys can come in and replace them. But we'll see what happens. Sean Payton said Bills' number 1 rushing offense, the running, the scheme will have to be ready. Yes. Yeah, college is like NFL free agency, but a lot more players, so hard to keep track. You can't keep track of it. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I could sit here and do a 7-hour show, and I wouldn't even do any. And I feel like there's anybody, it's nice to talk about some players and all that, and you're like, okay. And I do. Listen, JD has his cards. I have my cards. And a lot of these I probably won't even get through, but I've been writing cards for a couple days now. They got a lot of cards. So I figured let me try to get through as many as I can today. Mike Greenberg said, Greeny said, past 12 months, more than half the teams in the NFL fire the coaches. That happens in soccer all the fucking time. It happens all the time. And I feel like, Aaron Glenn should be gone. I mean, you finished 3-14. Last 5 games, you got outscored 188 to 54. You don't get a second year. I'm sorry. You suck shit. Time to go. Move on. January 2007, when Mike Tomlin was hired by the Steelers, social media just being launched, no iPhones. They didn't come out till 5 months after Tomlin was hired. Adam Schefter said the last 4 head coaches for the Steelers were 38 younger. Per Matt Pompom, Tomlin was 34 in 2007. Cowher was 34 in 92. Noll was 37 in 69, and Bill Austin was 37 in 66. Think about that. I mean, that's kind of crazy, right? The ages of these guys, and that they've had 3 head coaches in my lifetime. And now we're going to get the 4th. And I don't know who's going to take the job, but I wouldn't want to replace Tomlin. And be careful what you wish for, because you're going to bring a coach in. You saw what DeBoer's dealing with Saban. You follow a legend, and you can say whatever you want to maybe, but Tomlin was a damn good coach, and he won 10 goddamn games with Aaron Rodgers how old is Aaron Rodgers now? Is he 42? I mean, they haven't had a good quarterback. And that's what I feel about for Patty and Sue, like real true fans of the Steelers. It has to, it's got to be, he's 42. I mean, come on, dude. You had a 42-year quarterback. You won 10 games this year. Jets won 3. And they, I think what he did with that team, and TJ Watt is 0-5 of the playoffs, 9 tackles, 1 sack. Not great stats in the postseasons, might I add. Kyle Shanahan passed his dad for most playoff wins, 9-8. But I think Dad Mike would take the 2 Super Bowls over 0. And actually, Kyle's 0-3. Yeah, let's go UConn. Okay, there, Cocky B. The bar is set so incredibly high with Pittsburgh. How do you follow Tomlin, who won a Super Bowl shortly after following? Yeah, that's what I think it's going to be. Yeah, right move for Tomlin. Yeah, Barnes goes right move. Right move for Tomlin and the Steelers. Who's replacing him, though, buddy? Who's replacing him? That's what I want to know. Who's replacing him? Yeah, who are they going to hire? And would you want that job? I wouldn't want that job. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't want that job. Yeah, Cowher went at 149, 90 and 1, 623 winning percentage, 12-9 in the playoffs, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and Noll won 4 and built the team. They were terrible when he took over. Terrible team, and he built them into a powerhouse. Yeah, and getting Price for the Natties, that's a full real. I think so. because they need a quarterback. And is they going to give Will Howard a shot, the guy they drafted out of the Ohio State? Watch out for Brady. Brady's going to play. What, Brady's coming? Oh, Joe Brady. Okay, I'm okay with Joe Brady. I thought you were talking about Tom Brady coming out of retirement to play quarterback. They need a quarterback though. They're going to have to draft a quarterback, and they're not going to get a good one this year. It's a weak draft. I think they're going to have to go after somebody and bring in a quarterback, and maybe just even have it'd be interesting. Have a rebuild year. Arch Manning in Pittsburgh. That'd be interesting. If because I feel like he might be a late bloomer. And I really want to see what he does next year in Texas. But that's going to be interesting. So the get him price next money, this is Barnes type of money. $33.53 a ticket. That's Barnes got that money. That's his walking around money. That's his flash money. He should be able to go. Yeah. I went through Cowher. D-backs trade for third baseman Nolan Arenado, 8-time All-Star, 34, not the player he used to be. The Cards receive right-hand prospect, another prospect, Jack Martinez. And they said $31 million to the D-backs to cover. He's got $42 million over the next 2 years. They're going to cover 31 to the Cardinals. 237, 12 home runs, 52 RBIs, 107 games. He's not the same player. No, he's not. And my buddy Lanker sent me this. He said Carmelo and Furio from Sopranos, their child will be Trevor Lawrence, which I thought was funny. Alex Smith shuts down rumors that he wants the Chiefs OC job because Matt Nagy expected to. If Matt Nagy gets a head coaching job, that's who, bring him to the Steelers because then he can be shit, get rid of him in 2 years. But I don't think I don't want that Pittsburgh job. I feel like I'm replacing a legend who never had a losing season. And even with all the teams he had, they never really had a rebuild. I know they haven't, 7 straight playoff first round exits, 5 NFL history, 5 straight double-digit losses. But yesterday really fell apart in that fourth quarter. I mean, 2 defensive touchdowns. Marks ran through. So, and Chloe Kim tore her labrum. She said she's good to go for the half pipe on February 11th at Cortina at the Olympics. We talked about it. We talked about Nolan Arenado. Okay, and playoffs now. So Michigan's we have a dinner party Saturday. Michigan, I'm going to with Michigan. That is right during the Bills Broncos game, and I'm like, fuck me. But you're in a relationship. You got to do things. You got to take one for the team. So that's the game on Saturday. I like the Bills. I actually took the Steelers over the Texans, but I didn't do bad this weekend. I took the Bears. Who else did I take this weekend? I took the Bills over the Jags. I took the Niners over the Eagles, who fired Kevin Petula was no longer. Brendan's very happy. He'd like them to bring in McDaniels as an OC. They needed an OC. They got too much talent there to waste it with Petula, who should never have got the job in the first place. You don't go from a Super Bowl winning team and your offensive and defense. Well, wait, no. Right? Did both leave? Wait, did both get jobs? How come I'm blanking? Okay, wait. Eagles last year was oh my God. Who's the Saints coach? Who was the defensive coordinator? No, it was Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio's still the job, right? So Vic Fangio, but Kellen Moore. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. So Kellen Moore left, and Petula was the answer. I mean, honestly, what a shit show. So he's gone. So I like the Bills over the Broncos. I'm going to take the Texans over the Pats. Seahawks. I mean, I'd love the Niners to win, but I just don't know if they can. But Brock Purdy has played well in the postseason, and I'm going to take the Bears. I really think the Rams will beat I don't know. I think the Bears are playing with house money. Yeah. Oh, no. Eberflus to be OC? Why? Because they can score at will? Yeah, Eberflus. No, come on. You're hilarious there, but no, come on. Let's be honest. All right, now, I know I got a lot of cards, as I told you. Rangers, Kraken. Mika scored a short-handed goal, so they're up. Boom. Carrick gets his second goal. Boom. Panarin got the assist. 8th time Mika had the first goal of a game, leads the NHL, 18th of the season. Fantastic. Carrick gets a goal. They're 2-0 after 1. They have 11 shots on goal after 1 period. Panarin has a 7-game point streak. Mika has a 6-game point streak. Sully is stuck at 499 wins. They've won 5 games at home. Panarin, 600th point as a Ranger. Othman now 33 games without a goal. He did at the post. So the Rangers have 11 shots through 1 period. They get 10 over the last 40. Kraken score. Oh my God, Lindgren, who they didn't give anything for Kakko. They thanked them but they didn't have a video tribute for him or Lindgren. But Lindgren had 7:56 left. Canton was wide open, and then he didn't make it. Then they stuffed it in. It was 2-1, 2-2, 3-2. They got an empty net goal, so the Rangers end up losing 4-2, which is, I mean, come on, at home. Dying seconds, golden opportunity. JT Miller hit it into the pads. You thought maybe, okay, then empty net goal, 4-2. They're 5.5 minutes in. They're up 2-0. The Kraken are now 9-1-2 their last 12. They were outshot the Rangers 30-21. As I said, 10 shots in the last two periods. Rangers fall to 20, 21-6. Kraken improved to 21, 15-8. The Rangers, fourth loss in a row. They're now 5-12-4 at home, 15-9-2 away. Rangers only had a 13.83% chance, 13% chance expected goals with JT Miller at 5-on-5, worst rate on team. Oregon tight end Kenyon Sadiq is leaving school early to declare for the NFL draft. Yeah, he is. I knew he wasn't staying. And his mom has cancer, Rob. So that's a good move. I think that's a good move. Meek at 12 points the last 6 games. Rangers outshot 21-10 in the last 40. Kraken 5-on-5, 88% expected goal score share. Yeah, 2-0 after 5.5 minutes. Rangers find a way to lose again. Also, what else do I have here? Gabe Peralt in top 6. Laffey was dropped to the third line. Rempe, a healthy scratch where Sullivan says he's still not, the hand's not healed. No points in 12 games since return. So nothing good came out of that. No, nothing. Yeah, Rangers stunk it up. And that comes after Michigan's Ari and Jared went to the game Saturday in Boston. No Fox before January 31st. He's missed 15 games this season. What else do I have here? Panarin has led team in points each season since 2019-20. They have 2 regulation wins in the last 16 games. They did beat the Bruins 6-2 back on November 28th. But, they were down 2-1 after 1, and then it went to shit. Yeah, Road Warriors, this was before the game. 4th in goals with 78, 3rd in points with 32. Yeah, they beat them November 28th. Zaka had his first career hat trick. Oh, and it was 2-1 at the end of the period. I see 3-1, and Michigan goes, it's 2-1. They came back, and the puck crossed the goal line, so they brought everybody back out. So it was 3-1 at the end of 1. Trocheck also missed the penalty shot, shocking. December 16th, Brewers 17 goals in first. Since December 16th, 17 goals in the first, 3 today, tied with the Penguins for the most in the first period since December 16th. So that happened. Okay. Quick relieved after it was 6-1 with 8:34 left in the second. Spencer Martin came in. His goalie pads were so new that they were saying there were no marks in them. So that, not good. Bruins 6 goals 3 times this season. New York Rangers have given up 6 goals 4 times this season. JT Miller did have a nice goal, but he looked beat up. He doesn't look like he's healthy. McAvoy had his second goal, 7-2, season high in goals with 10. The 10-2 loss. So this Mike Marial put this up. David Pasternak had his first 6-point game, all on assists. Boston, 24-19-2. Rangers, now they're under 500. Most goals allowed by the Rangers since 2609. Brewers, 10 goals, first time since 1988. And Marat Kuznadanov and Pavel Zacha combined for 7 goals. First time since 1964. 2 Bruins had a hat trick in the same game. And Mike Sullivan cannot get 500 wins. It's not happening. No, it's not happening. Yeah, so the Rangers really suck. Yeah. Rangers suck. 4 losses in a row. Nothing's working. 5 wins at home. I mean, the Olympic break can't come soon enough. We're not going until March the 3rd. Oh, and I got called for jury duty, March 5th in Jersey. So fucking psyched. I love jury duty. I have not done jury duty since I think I was in my 20s. So I'm going to walk in there. I'm going to wear, I don't know what I'm going to wear. I think I might wear a spandex outfit so they'll get rid of me. Maybe wear assless chaps so they'll kick me out right away. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Rangers, do we need to talk about them anymore? No. Rangers suck. Okay, so NFL playoffs. Yeah, we could talk about the Rams. Puka, to me, is crazy. Puka has had Stafford, who averages 300 yards passing in the playoffs. Puka, 5th-round pick, unanimous All-Pro, year 3. Thank you, Blaine Grissack. Jalen Coker had over 100 yards receiving, and they had chances in the game. McAvoy is now 6-0 when leading after the fourth quarter. Oh, so Stafford also going into the game, 18 touchdown passes of 5 yards or less, led the NFL, and then he hit Puka for his second touchdown. Actually, one was a rush and one was a catch. 33 red zone touchdowns this season led NFL. Yeah, and Puka was trying to do some tackling. It was not good. Yeah, I wrote all these stuff out, and now I feel like the game already happened. Yeah, Stafford started 8 for 8 and then hit his hand, and Panthers, who had been 3 for 3 on fourth downs in the win of the regular season, did not play well, had turnovers. Uh, Bryce Young didn't play terrible. Jalen Coker had 122 yards receiving through 3 quarters, which is a career high. And I thought Neil Landman got a great hit on Coker, but they called it. He led with his helmet, even though he hit chest to chest. Yeah. Yeah. And Stafford had an interception. Chuba Hubbard had a touchdown. It was back and forth. It was a really good game. Yeah. Carolina blocked the punt. 27-24, 4:12 left. Yeah. And Coker had 9 for $134, a touchdown. Career game up 31-27, 2:39 left. Rams have 3 timeouts. Yeah. Isaiah Simmons blocked the punt for the Panthers, first in postseason history. Rams lost this year, allowed defensive TD or special team TD in 4 or 5 losses this year, all on the road. J.C. Horn got hurt. And they went right after him. Rob and I were talking about this, and Brendan was upset that the defense they were playing, but it hurt him a lot. Parkinson had a great touchdown catch. He had his 9th touchdown of the season, 5 in his first 5 years. It was a great catch. 38 seconds left, and then Jimmy Horn Jr. had a ball, and he used his hands, and he didn't go to the ground to get it on 4th down. That was it. Yeah, that really pissed me off. And that was it. Yeah. And that was the end of that game. Then the 213th meeting between the Bears and Green Bay, 15 years since last postseason for the Bears. Longest active NFC drought. Jordan Love, first start since week 16. Bryce Young, in the game. Yeah, so he went 23 of 36 for 264, touchdown interception, 24 yards rushing. Canales in this league, no moral victories, I agree. Yeah, that game-winning touchdown. Next-gen stats said the completion probability was 27.3, second most improbable behind Young to Jalen Coker's, which was 19.7 in that game. That's how crazy that game. It was, and that was a beautiful touchdown. I thought Bryce Young played well. They were talking about maybe he's not going to be here for long, but I thought he made a lot of great plays in the game. Not enough. I mean, I'd expect anything out of him, and they played hard. I still don't think an 8-9 team should get a home playoff game. I know we've divisions, but I feel like it should be 1-8 best teams, and they get in the playoffs, but they don't get a home playoff game. But it happened. The fans were into it. It was awesome to see. Yeah, and they got 3 for 3, 4th down. The Panthers get great. Yeah, Canales is a good coach. I agree with you. Also, during the regular season, the Panthers have been 27 conversions on 4th down, most since 1980, 40 attempts at 4th down, second most of the Jets, 68% 4th in the NFL, and they've been 3 for 3. Yes, not a talented team, but they are in every game. I agree with you 100%. What did I see? Field goals don't win playoff games. That's what I said. All that time and yardage, 16 play, 38. And I thought the Bears didn't get a touchdown. I was like, you know what? You can't win if you're going to kick field goals. They go down. Christian Watson, bam, TD. 9 plays, 85 yards. Josh Jacobs, scrimmage yards in playoffs. 2021 with Raiders, he had 127. 2024 with Packers, 121. One of 2 active players with 120 plus in first 2 postseason games. The other one is, it was the only active player with 120 plus scrimmage yards in his first 2 postseason games. I did not know this, but I will leave it for someone if someone wants to try to answer. Yeah, 4th and 2 Bears, nice play. 4th and 6 Green Bay 40. Caleb Williams, bad interception. TJ Edwards broke his ankle, leg was dangling, kind of like a leader on defense. That didn't help. Jaden Reed, I'll tell you, he looked awesome. Say that again. Okay, so the trivia question is, Josh Jacobs is one of 2 active players with at least 120 plus scrimmage yards in his first 2 postseason games. The other is, I did not know who this was, so I don't know if you will either. Bears 0-16 all-time when trailing by double digits in playoffs. Green Bay 33-2 when leading by 10 plus points. Their only losses were the 2014 no, it's not Tomlinson. 2004 NFC chip for Seattle. They had a 16-point lead. And 2003 divisional round against Philly, they had a 14-point lead. Let me look him up. He is playing this year. I want to look up, Rob. I'm going to help you with this one. Not Roger Craig. He's an active. Uh, he is on a team that missed the playoffs this year, but had a good year. He has played for. Let me see. Okay, he played for Baltimore. No, Josh Jacobs was the one. I said Josh Jacobs is one. Who's the other? He started with Baltimore for 3 years, Arizona for 2, and the last 2 years with KC. Do you know who I'm talking about? He's got a nickname. That's the guy I'm talking about. Not Dobbs. No. He's on Kansas City right now. Yeah. So that's what we were talking about. Yeah. Bears haven't won a playoff game. They trail by 4+ points since 1963 title game, down 7-0, won 14-10 over the Giants. In 1963, Josh Dubow. Yeah, Cole Kmet, catch and fumble recovery, challenge, which was an incomplete pass. 4th and 4, Bears going for it from home 32. Tip pass, major gamble, doesn't pay off. Nothing was working out at the beginning of the game for Ben Johnson and Benny and the Jets at all. So 4th and 1, Christian Watson jumps into end zone and ball recovered by Packers. So it's 4th down. The ball's placed at the point of fumble. Bears defense wasn't jumping for ball, when it was in the end zone, nobody was jumping for it. So now Bears can't give him a touchdown. 4th and 1, he draws a play. Dobbs wide open in the end zone. 21-3, 156 left in the half. Bears miss on 4th down again, 1 for 4 in the game. They're down 21-3 at the half. Jordan Love under pressure, 0 for 1. No pressure, 9 for 11, 3 touchdowns. No next-gen stats in the first half. So he's playing out of his mind. But second half, they just seem to go. Pack spent $325 million on Micah Parsons, Zach Toms, Nate Hobbs, all out for Chicago. Thank you, Michael Rodney, for that. Green Bay's first postseason game with 2 85+ yard TD drives since the Super Bowl 32, the loss to Denver 31-24. Love's 3 touchdowns first half, 2 combined last 2 playoff games. So he was playing out of his mind. You're up 20. You think the game's over. Bears have 6 comeback wins this year. Get a field goal, something about it. And Caleb Williams on the sidelines, he gets pissed off. And he just always seems like he's a whiny little bitch. So 4th and 1, receiver slips, red zone interception, Caleb Williams. You're like, they're not winning this game. Green Bay pass to eligible lineman, fumbles. Bears can't get it. So everything's going wrong for the Bears. Bears 0 for 3 in the red zone. It's 21-9. They go 7 plays, 66 yards, 2:03 left. They get a touchdown. Jordan Love, 2 intentional groundings in the game, had won his entire career. Caleb Williams, 2 interceptions, 3rd career game. It broke a 31-game streak. Before he hadn't thrown 2 interceptions in the game since his 3rd career game. Josh Jacobs had his first kickoff return, fumbles, but gets it back. Looks a little wobbly. Love was 9 for 15 in the first half. Matthew Golden had this touchdown. So they made it 21-15. He breaks all these tackles, 27-16. And their kicker misses the extra point. So all of a sudden you're like, shit. Points scored versus Green Bay this year. 6 first half, the Bears, 53 in the second half. So it's now 27-15. 4th and 8, you think, okay, it's over now. He gets a first down. Now it's 27-22. They go for 2 for Colston Loveland, who had a phenomenal game, over 100-yard receiving. They're down 27-24, 3 timeouts left, 14 left. Jacobs takes his second kickoff return. They miss a field goal. So now Brandon McManus has missed an extra point, and he missed 2 field goals in the game. There was a 5-yard penalty, so they push it back 5 yards. He misses it from 44. So John Breach says, going into tonight, Brandon McManus was 11 for 12 on field goals, 4 for 4 extra points. Tonight, he missed 3 kicks, 2 field goals, and an extra point. That was him in the postseason. Bears, DJ Moore, what a play. They get a touchdown, 1:43 left. Green Bay has 1 timeout left. Hollywood Brown, yes. Nice going. Montez Sweat, Grace hustle play. They added 5, where he knocked the ball away from Jordan Love. He throws the ball in the end zone, and game is over. And they come back. They were down. They scored. What was the score going into, right? The score going into the 4th quarter was 21. I got to look that up. Let me look that up for a second. Bears, because I want to get this right. Bears, 25-6 in the 4th quarter. So they were down 21-6 going to the 4th quarter, and they scored 25 in the 4th, and they win the game. And the place is going crazy. And they get a second playoff game. And now anything's possible with this guy. I did not like Ben Johnson at the end. The quick shake hand and walking away, douche move. He said, "Well, we don't like the Packers." Ben Johnson, be a fucking man. Shake his hand and walk away. I didn't like it at all. It pissed me off. It really did. It pissed me off. All right, Seahawks will get. So Seahawks get the Niners. If the Niners beat, which they did, Bears fourth quarter down 21-3 at half, 21-6 in the fourth. Second most points in any quarter of a postseason game. They had third quarter 1940 NFL championship. They had 26. Fourth, Benjamin Solik, the fourth largest comeback in Bears history. Caleb Williams, 5 scores in 7 drives, 71% when trailing by 1-3 in final 3 minutes of fourth quarter OT. 5 scores in 7 drives when trailing by 1-3 points in final 3 minutes of fourth quarter overtime. Jordan Love, 4 touchdown passes, tied for most by a quarterback in the playoff history. Rodgers did it twice. Bart Starr and Lynn Dickey did it once. 4 touchdowns. He had a good game. He had TJ Edwards. Yep. Bill Shavers, I said that first half, according to, yep. I said that. Played 22 of the team's 34 snaps in the second half with a torn ACL. Really? Is that what you just told? Is that what you just said to me? What did you just, really? He suffered in the first half, and he played 22 of the team's 34 snaps. Because I saw him go to the locker room, Rob. And yeah, wow, that is crazy. TJ Edwards, broken fibula, done for the year. Offensive lineman Adze Trapillo, patellar tear. He's done for the year. Thank you, Jonathan Jones. Saturday was the first time since January 5th, 2003, that 2 teams overcame deficits with a TD in the final 2 minutes of regulation to win a playoff game. Back then in 2003, Pittsburgh beat Cleveland 36-33, and the Niners, you remember this, Rob, beat the Giants 39-38. I remember that game. That was with your snapper, right? Your snapper. I remember that game. Josh Allen, 5 straight playoff wins, but 0-4. Now he's won his first road playoff game. They hadn't won a road playoff game since 92 when they beat the Dolphins to win the AFC Championship. So the number 1 rushing offense versus the number 1 rushing defense. Jags 6 home playoff game. Josh Allen, 8 playoff rushing TDs, all in second quarter and postseason. Thank you, Jim Nantz. Isn't that crazy? All his rushing TDs. Well, no, he did. Oh, did he get one at the end? Oh, before that, yes, he got one at the end of the game. Cam Little had made 20 in a row, missed a 54-yarder before halftime, which was a big miss. That game against the Fun is way worse for me than the Eagles. Yeah, I agree. That was a tough game. Down 17-13, Josh Allen who was 6 for 8, 44 yards on third down, 4 first downs. Ray Davis fumbled on kickoff in the first half. Jackson didn't turn it into points, unfortunately. Bills 0-8, as I said, last playoff one was 92. Dalton Kincaid, they made it 2017. Parker Washington didn't have a catch till 30 seconds left in the first half, over 100 yards. He had a great game. Etienne almost drops direct snap. Next play, he gets a touchdown. Third lead change of the fourth quarter. It was a great game. Sean McDermott said, Josh Dubois said 6-0 versus wildcard teams, 2-7 versus division winners. Only other win versus division winner came last year against the Ravens. But yeah, they won 29-10 over the Dolphins in the AFC title game in 92. John Todd, last 2 years, Bills, 2025, snapped Pat's 11-game winning streak. 2024, Bills snapped. I said the Bills. I wrote the wrong team. KC 9-24, Jags 8 this year. Pats and I forget who else. Maybe it was KC. No, it wasn't KC. John Todd, I lost that tweet. First team NFL history to snap 4 8-game win streaks, which is pretty cool. Maybe I'll find John Todd, because I should find out that one, right? Let me see if I can find John Todd. John Todd. There we go. Is that him? That is not him. No, that is not John Todd. That's not the John Todd I'm looking for. That's a John. Yeah. Oh, John Todd NFL. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, this might be him. Let me see. Texans average 1.9 offensive TDs a game this season, tied for the NFL lead with 4 defensive TDs. The last team to win a playoff game in a season they averaged less than 2 offensive TDs a game was the 2016 Texans. I think that's pretty funny. Through 4 games of the 25 NFL playoffs, 3 road teams have won after trailing in the final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Road teams did so. 0 did it in any postseason from 2019 to 2024 combined. In just 5 games, Saquon Barkley passed Brian Westbrook, 591 yards rushing in 11 games for the Eagles' all-time postseason rushing record. Yeah, and Quinyon Mitchell had 2 interceptions. He has 4 interceptions in his career. All are postseason. Yeah, he was the first player to force a fumble and have an interception in a single playoff game since Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins in the 2004 NFC Championship. Yeah, wow. Wow. Josh Allen became the 6th quarterback in NFL history to defeat at least 4 teams, riding 8+ game win streaks in a career, and the first to defeat 4 in a 2-year span. All right. Yeah, they beat. Okay, that's who they beat. Patriots this year, Lions 10-game win streak last year, Chiefs 9-game winning streak in 24, and the Jags 8-game winning streak. So that's what I was looking for. All right, thank you, John Todd. Yes. Also, Josh Allen with 28 to 35, 273, a touchdown, 11 for 33 rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, had the game-winning touchdown. Trevor Lawrence 7 interceptions in 3 playoff games. Texans also yesterday got their first road playoff win ever. That was the first time they ever were a wild card team in their playoff history. Tush push increased Bills' win probability from 27 to 77%. Single most valuable win probability percentage increasing by a quarterback sneak in NFL history per next gen stats. So the tush push, Warren Sharp, but he was stopped at the 1-yard line. But the tush push didn't lead to the touchdown, but it led him to the 1-yard line. But it did increase the win probability for the Bills from 27 to 77. Trevor Lawrence got it back. Ball got tipped, and that was the end of that. And yeah, season over. Yeah, 3 playoff games for Trevor Lawrence, 3 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Most interceptions since his postseason debut in 2022. He's now 1-22. 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter of that game. Lawrence in the red zone, 6 for 7 with 3. He did not have a bad game. Yeah, bad dive for first down where his leg went down. I think they should have put points on the board. They did not. Lawrence was 18 to 30, 207, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, ran for 31. Etienne had 115 yards of total offense, 67 on the ground, 5 for 49 and a touchdown. Parker Washington, 7 for 107. As I said, he really did all his damage. 1 catch before halftime, 6 catches after halftime. James Cook came averaging 95 yards per game, 16-11 of the season. The Jags did their job, 15 for 46, another 5 yards receiving. Shakir had a career high in receiving yards and receptions, 12 targets, 12 catches, 82 yards. Brandon Cooks had 3 for 58. He did have 1 that he dropped. Kincaid had 3 for 28, a touchdown. Keon Coleman had 1 catch, but 36 yards, a big catch. Lawrence last INT was all 5 receivers. Yeah, it should have been caught. I agree with that. You're right. Jags, 15 for 23, 4th and short this season, 1 to 3 yards. They were 0 for 1 in the game. Bills were 7 for 14 on 3rd down, 2 for 2 on 4th down. Turnovers, 2-1 Jags. Jags were 5 for 9 on 3rd down, 0 for 1 on 4th, where he went down. They had chances. Yeah. Bills run defense was 28th, rush defense 24th, yards per rush they gave 30th. Gave up 23 for 54. Yeah, Jags. Yeah. So what they give up? Yeah, they gave up. They only gave up 54 yards rushing. No, they did more than that. I gotta look at. Wait, let me look at the stats here. JD's getting all excited with all his cards. So hold on a sec. Let me clean this up a little bit. All right, let me get to the Jags. All right, Jags. Trying to look at Jags. All right, so they lost. Need the team stats. Yeah, the Jags ran for $154, 6.6 yards per carry. The Bills ran for 79, 5.5. But they neutralized Brandon Cook. It didn't matter because when they needed the big plays, they needed them. And Lawrence came in since week 11, 8-0, 24 total touchdowns, most of the NFL, 5 interceptions, had 2 on Sunday. Shaq Thompson had intercepted for Bills. Now, who put this up? John Heyman put it. Minor league stats, 0 for 39 with 37 strikeouts in baseball. I thought that was kind of funny. Matt Prater, field goals, 47 and 50-yarder. He came in. Now he's in his career 5 or 6 from 50, 11 for 12 overall. That's going to help them going into Denver. Yeah, postseason career for Allen. Total yards per game, 311. He had a 306 on Sunday. Rushing yards, 868, 33 on Sunday. TD interception, 6.25. First, minimum 8 starts. He had a TD, no interception of the game. James Cook came in with 9 games of 100 yards this year. Most of the NFL had 46. Yeah. They 46, one of the early drops, 46 drop of the season by the Jags. Trevor Lawrence, 281.8 passing yards a game the last four games. He 207 Sunday, 156.9 passing yards per game. The Bills this year, fewest in NFL. Both teams have one sack. So, I mean, Bills played good defense. Lawrence had mistakes when mistakes happened, and yeah, Shakir. I mean, yeah. Listen, sixth game, Allen with 2 rushing touchdowns or more. Perdon almost missed an extra point, which he didn't. Allen first road playoff win, 6th straight wild card win for Allen. First road playoff win since '92, as I said. Lane Johnson was out for the Niners game with a foot injury. Ricky Pearsall was out with a knee injury. Eagles rested started week 18, so nobody really played. Purdy since week 11, 19 total touchdowns, 70.6 completion percentage, rating 105.6, all top 3. Second play of the game, Demarcus Robinson, which Chief had him to get a touchdown, 61 yards, shakes a move on Quinyon Mitchell, burns him. Longest allowed by Quinyon Mitchell this year. The previous was 34. Thank you, Anthony DeBona. So they didn't start off well. And then Demarcus Robinson catches a touchdown. They go 6 plays, 76 yards, and Robinson has 2 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown on the drive. Jalen Hurts had been 5-0 with 11 total TDs, 0 turnovers in his career in playoffs. Saquon had a huge run. Shanahan 8-4 in the postseason, 2 Super Bowl losses. He's now 9-4. Dallas Goedert rushing touchdown is 12th of the season, but Jake Elliott misses an extra point, so they're down 7-6. Saquon 6 carries for 45 yards, 29-yard run on opening drive. He had 9 carries in the first quarter, which was his most all season. Jake Elliott 6 missed extra points, tied with Roy Jarella from the Steelers for most in NFL history. Elliott 36-42, 85.7%, worst among kickers with at least 73, including at least 73 attempts in the playoffs. 6 missed extra point for Jake Elliott. Sirianni at home in the playoffs, 5-0, plus 105 point differential, 14-0 turnovers, touchdowns and turnovers. Every year Shanahan has made the playoffs with the Niners. He's made the end. Well, I just don't know, Rob, if they're going to win in Seattle. I just don't know. But I mean, it's a good thought to have, but I don't know. Yeah, bad pass by Hurts. Yeah, second play for San Francisco, 61 yards. Eight others went for 22. CMC came at a career scrimmage, 119.5, 4th most in the NFL, a minimum of 5 games. Niners offense since 2019, yards per play first, total yards second, points per game 4th. Eagles D since 2024, yards per play second, total yards per game second, and points per game second. Crazy, right? Did I not get? Oh, yes, I did. I got my hour. All right. Niners. Okay, so we talked about that. Saquon, most carries, I said, in the first quarter, 9 for 48 in the first quarter. CMC with all those yards, and he really breaks and he never really, but you know what? He has been phenomenal catching footballs, Rob. Niners, 10 points in the last 5 quarters. Thank you, Kyle A. Madison. Shanahan versus Vic Fangio, 4 games, 1-3 going into the game. 10.3 points per game. 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. Saquon was the first Eagles running back with 1,000 yards back-to-back since 2014. LaShawn McCoy, 5th straight playoffs, tied for longest streak in Eagles franchise history. Tush push on 4th down. Eagles drive. Dallas Goedert, TD, but a flag. They said an ineligible man downfield. They picked it up. They said Juergens, the center, was only within a yard, so they picked it up. They get the extra point. They're up 13-7. His 12th receiving touchdown of the year. 16 plays, 94 yards, 9 minutes. And then Jawan Jennings has a huge 45-yard play after Kittles is carted off. And it is confirmed he tore his Achilles. So they lose him. Niners lost 74 games from their starters this year, which is crazy. Jalen Hurts, 6-2 in the playoff, 197 total yards. A TD interception, only Mahomes more going into today. 19 total TDs, 1 interception, only Mahomes, 9 more. Only Holmes, 9 more going into today. All right. 28. Wow. Purdy fumbled ball before getting out of bounds. No timeout. Points left on field, 13-10. Yeah, that's a bad play. Kittle went back in the room. Yeah, he did ask for a bottle of tequila. I saw that. That was funny. So 13-10 Eagles, and they got the ball to start second half. Josh Dubois, Niners allowed more TD passes, 29 this year, than sacks and interceptions combined, 26. Only other team to do that. Only other team to do that was the Jets, 36 touchdowns, 26 sacks, 0 interceptions. Packers led by 10 interceptions. Oh, Packers. This is another thing I saw. Packers led by 10 in Cleveland, 13 in Dallas, 9 in Denver, and 18 in Chicago, and lost all the games. And they were leading the game before in Green Bay, and they blew that game. They didn't win any of those games. Thank you, Matt Schneider, for that. Ben Johnson, yeah, I said the handshake. Just fucking fourth team in NFL history to be trailing by 15 plus in fourth quarter and win. LaFleur is 76-40-1, fourth best among active behind Sirianni, Harbaugh, and McDermott. 6 playoff appearances, 2 NFC Championship games, 19-20, divisional round in 21-23, wild card defeats last 2 years. He still has his job. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Stafford was 12 for 15 in the fourth against Carolina, 22 of 30, 2 touchdowns inside the numbers, all 3 touchdowns exploited by safety or linebacker, next gen stats. Hurts first design run, but a flag and did come back. Juergens got a holding penalty. Eagles 22nd in penalties, no first downs, middle of second to middle. They had no first downs, middle, second, and middle of third. Brandon was going crazy. They're up 16-10. Halfback option from Jawan Jennings to CMC. 17-16, 14-15 left in the game. Brandon, we want more. That's what he says. We want more. Quinyon Mitchell got his second pick, 4th in his career on the postseason. Thank John Ganud for that one. San Francisco employee brought a bottle of tequila in locker room. Best guess for George Kittle. Thank you, Diana Rossini. And thank you, HCJ. He also brought that up. Yeah, no Kittle. Juszczyk made a great catch on the drive. But they don't go for 2. CMC's second touchdown catch of the day from Jawan, right? That was from Jawan Jennings, which was, 2:54 left there, 23-19, 3 timeouts left for the Eagles, 2 for the Niners. Going to the fourth wild card, 3 teams trailing, a 2-minute warning, won the game, except for the Eagles. 3 teams trailing ended up winning the game. 4th and 11, triple coverage, Eagles going home. Robert Saleh, Eric Kendricks on 4th down call. Yeah, that was a great play. Eric Kendricks had a great game. So Niners at Seattle, Rams at Bears. Dante Koplowitz-Fleming. Jawan Jennings, more completed passes over 15 yards. 1. Hurts was over 5 on passes over 15 yards. And we looked last year, 41 design runs, this year 96. I mean, last year 96, this year 41. Why Petulo's gone too? I mean, ridiculous. Should I root for Drake May, a UNC grad? It's the Pats. I don't know if I really can. Yeah, Kyle Juszczyk is so good. I think good fullback is really useful. It's a shame teams don't. Yes. And Juszczyk had a catch on that drive, Rob, which was not, I mean, he turned himself around. It was a hell of a catch. Yeah, and should I root for Drake May? You know what? I got to be honest with you. I'm not, he went to UNC, but it's the Pats, man. I fucking hate the Pats. I wish him the best. Yeah, he threw an interception on second possession. 2 of it runs. What the fuck? He was second in rushing this year to Josh Allen. A third run, 4th and 2, no points. Bad pass to Keenan Allen. I mean, that was ridiculous. Yeah, Allen didn't really try for it either. Got those crocodile hands. I expected more points. 32 seconds and a half. Drake May, quarterback scramble, 37 yards. Longest run by a Pats quarterback in playoffs, Josh Dubois. Last player with a longer run was Sony Michael, 40 yards versus the Chargers 2018 divisional round. Yeah. Drake May leading rusher with 55 yards. They're up 6-3. Mike Vrabel winning percentage 824. Highest winning percentage 824 by a coach in first season with team since 2009. Jim Caldwell went 875, 14-2 with the Colts. And they lost to the Saints 31-17, where Sean Payton started the second half with an onside kick, and the rest was history. I love that the Saints won that one. Beautiful. Brian Nemhouse, Seahawks 6.5, 7.5 point over the Niners. May on scrambles, 4 for 52, 2 first downs, most in any half of his career. He went 6 for 15, 95 yards, 40% completion percentage, lowest in first half in his career. It's only second year. 2 sacks he took. Herbert was 10 for 13 for 93 yards and 2 sacks in the first half. Yeah, Eagles are looking at their 5th OC in 5 years. A.J. Brown, dead cap hit of $66.9 million. Dallas Goedert, 31 free agent. He's going to want more money. Lane Johnson's 36. No tight end two. Brandon goes center. Cam Jurgens, worst run blocking offensive line in league this year, and tight end Grant Calcaterra, the worst blocking tight end in NFL this season. Thank you, Brandon. Saquon getting hit immediately. I mean, it seemed like every time he's getting to the line of scrimmage, he's getting hit. Drake May stripped and recovered by Chargers. Udafe Owe, who blew by Will Campbell. Owe had a great game. He had 3 sacks in the game. Oh, they picked up a flag on a potential pass interference. Then next play called on the Pats what looked like an uncatchable ball. Hunter Henry 10 TD. Then Justin Herbert not getting any help tonight. Just got popped what looked like helmet to helmet. So they're down 16-3. Chargers had 71 net passing yards with 5:39 left in the game. So as you can tell, it's not a game they were winning. And 2 years of Jim Harbaugh, LA Chargers playoffs, they lost 32-12, 16-2 this year, 15 points in 2 playoff games for Harbaugh and Herbert. Not good. Not good at all. Ryan Weathers from Yay! Yankees got Ryan Weathers. Yay! Another pitcher. They still don't have enough hitting. Andrew Callahan, Pats didn't allow fewer than 10 points to anyone during the regular season, and they kicked ass. Greg Roman is the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. Mike Devlin, offensive line. Roman has to go. He sucks. So Herbert finished 19-31 for $159, 6 sacks for 39 yards. So do the math. 120. He had 120 net passing yards. He also ran for 10 for 57. Ladd McConkey, 3 for 32. Aronde Gadsden had 3 for 30. Yeah, and Milton Williams for the Pats, 3 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 5 pressures, 2 quarterback hits. He was in the backfield all day. Yeah. Owe had 4 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hits, and a forced fumble for the Chargers. Drake May, 17-29, 268, touchdown interception, another 66 on the ground. Stevenson had 53, 75 yards receptions. Henderson, 27 yards. Butte had 66 on 4 catches. Hunter had 3 for 64, touchdown. Diggs had 2 for 16. Yeah, Chargers were 1 for 10 on third, 1 for 3 on fourth. Pats were 4-11 for 11 on third. I mean, Chargers weren't doing anything. That offense was. I mean, Herbert. It was ugly. It was an ugly game. It was ugly to watch. It was ugly. Brock Purdy in the Niners game against the Eagles, he went 18 of 31 for 262, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the 24 on the ground. Juwan Jennings had a 29-yard touchdown. So CMC had 15-48 rushing, but then 6 for 66 and 2 touchdowns. DeMarcus Robinson had 6 for 111. Juszczyk had 4 for 49. Juwan Jennings had a 45. So CMC gave you 114 yards total offense. Third down, 6 for 11. The Eagles 5 for 16, 3 for 5 on fourth, and Niners didn't try a 4th down play. Yeah, not a good day. Philly led time of possession. Hurts was 20 of 35, 168, a touchdown of the 14 on 5 rushes. Philly had 7. Barkley had 106, another 25 in catches. Devontae Smith had 8 for 70, 11 on 11 targets. Goddard had 4 for 33, a touchdown. He had a rushing touchdown. A.J. Brown, 3 for 25. 4 drop passes on 3rd down. Not good. Not good at all. No, it was not a pretty game. Yeah. Steelers 7 straight playoff losses now. Ahkello Witherspoon for the Rams broke scapula again. He was done. Thinking Ned Atkins, he is done for the season. Pats D last 3 allowed 3 or fewer points, had 6+ sacks, allowed 2 or fewer combined 3rd or 4th down conversions, allowed 160 or fewer passing yards. No other NFL team in Super Bowl era has done that in a playoff game. Thank you, Greg Harvey. Yeah. 1 for 11. Where'd they go? 1 for 11 on, 1 for 11 on 3rd down, and then I had it somewhere. They went, 1 for 2 for 13 on on 3rd and 4th down. Yeah, ugly. Christian Gonzalez, he got hurt, didn't allow a reception on 5 targets across 26 coverage snaps. Thank you, Savage. Darren Orlovsky, number of times. OC, I talked about that they ran Jalen Hurts 55 less this year than last year. Kyle Juszczyk, it's insane the way that this team keeps finding a way to win. I agree. I mean, that team, you lose Kittle, and they just keep going and going. BR Gridiron, Niners and Rams and Seahawks are 40-7 versus everyone else this year. Justin Herbert versus Pats, negative 0.25 EPA per play, by far the worst for any offense in wild card round. Brady's first 5 postseason starts, no opponent exceeded 17 points. So again, he wasn't really, defense was really helping him. Seahawks, Emanwari is in their in their defensive backfield. When he was on the field, the top defense by points allowed and EPA per play into playoffs when he was on the field. That's how much. That's how good he's been for them. Yeah, Nick Emanwari, South Carolina safety, he was drafted in the 2nd round this year, and they said he has been the difference for the Seahawks. When he plays, good things happen. Jalen Hurts sacked during final series. 3rd time they ran the same play. They'd even run it on the same drive. 11-year vet linebacker Eric Kendricks sniffed it out. How do you run the same play 3 times? How do you do that shit? How does that happen? I mean, that's scary, folks. Yeah. Seahawks got 9. Get Niners, held them to 3 points in Week 18. Rams can make it to Super Bowl as wild card without facing quarterback in top 2 tiers. Caleb Williams and Sam Darnold are not in the top 2 tiers. 2 of 7 top tier 3 quarterbacks lost in the wild card round. Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence. Caleb Williams is a tier 3. Aaron Rodgers also lost. He's a tier 3. Stafford and Allen are tier 1. Tier 2 lost Love, Herbert, and Hurts. Leo's only Brock Purdy and C.J. Stroud in tier 2. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. No head coach has ever won a Super Bowl with 2 different teams. 7 have won conference championships with multiple teams, but no coaches won a Super Bowl with 2 different teams. But can that happen this year? What do we have left? We're down to 4, right? Ben Johnson, no. Shanahan's never won. McDonald's never won. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Bills never won. Denver, Sean Payton. And then we have, who's the other game? Oh, yeah. Texans, no. Are playing the and yeah, he's never been no Super Bowls. So Sean Payton's the only guy who could win a 2nd Super Bowl with Denver, which I don't think they're going to even win a 1st round, but we'll see what happens. Josh Dubow, offensive plays run with lead in 3 Bears-Packers games this season. Packers had the lead offensive plays they ran when leading in the Bears-Packers 3 games. 106. Bears 0, and Bears won 2 or 3 games. 0. It's like they fall asleep for a couple, and then they fall asleep, and then they wake up and they start playing again. Every other coach in NFC North has won division since Green Bay last won in 2021. If Payton wins, yeah, he'd be first coach to win a Super Bowl. Yep, you're right. That's what I just said. Yeah, you're right. HT, you're with it, man. You're with it. You're like this. Jacobs, 2nd half, 5 for 6. Love with 7 for 15, 87 yards in the second half. Packers' 4th defeat in NFL this season by team leading by exactly 15 points ending the 4th quarter per True Media. Teams leading by 15 points through 3, 4-6 in those games in 2025. In 2024, they were 102-2. This year, 4-6 when teams leading by 15 points through 3 quarters. 4-6. 25 years previously, 102-2. I mean, it's crazy. It's been crazy football. And since 2016, visiting kickers at Soldier Field, 13 of 24, 54% from 40 to 45 yards. Regulation and playoffs. By far the lowest rate for kickers in any of the 36 stadiums where kickers have tried 3 attempts per game, per True Media. Average is 81% from visiting kickers from that distance overall. They have been 54%, 40 to 45 in regulation and playoffs. 2016 at Soldier Field, all those stadiums, 81%. And hey, listen, coming in, that's next game. To critics, LaFleur was 2-3 in playoffs as betting favorite, tied for worst win rate among 19 coaches with at least 5 such games this century. I remember when Jimmy G came in and they beat the Packers 13-3. That was ugly. Yeah. Crazy. Remember when the old Meadowlands, the Giants would open doors to make the win worse? Oh, listen, I remember the championship game with 86 against the Redskins, and what Schrader, and you saw the wind flying around. I didn't know they opened the doors though. That's interesting. Really? Wow. LaFleur, the 11th winningest coach among 113 coaches at least 100 regular season games, better than 20 Hall of Fame coaches, including Chapel Bill, 654. Hey, you know what? Yeah, yeah, and he has lost some games he should have won. Yeah, 2-3 in playoffs as betting favorite, tied for worst winning rate among 19 coaches with at least 5 such games this century. He's still the coach. I haven't heard anything saying otherwise. Niners did not have Kittle this year for 5 games. They went 3-2. CMC said, weird deal. Have to continue to play after a brother goes down. Still have a game to win. Said Harden, he's the hardest soul of the team, Kittle. Sirianni blamed the wind for the drops. 4 drops on third down. He said ball moves differently in the wind. Most in playoff games since ESPN started tracking the stat in 2000. He blamed the wind. A.J. Brown needs to go. He got into a little argument. You got to make those catches, dude. I still don't think that catch by Devontae Smith, that was a wobbly ball up. That was a hard catch. But it's in his hands. They say he should make it. Per OptaStats, Pats allowed 0 touchdowns, 6 sacks. A.J. Brown could go let him go to the Jets. He'll suck. Yeah, he'll probably do better in KC. Pats allowed 0 touchdowns, 6 sacks, allowed under 100 yards rushing, under 150 yards net passing. Only the team was the 1985 Bears was the Giants when Sean Landeta missed that punt. Remember that? Oof. So week 1, Niners over the Seahawks 17-13. Week 18, Seahawks over the Niners 13-3. Divisional round is at Seattle. First instant NFL history, teams facing each other. Week 1, last week of the season and the playoffs. Thank you, Dante Koplowitz-Fleming, for that one. Bill Barnwell, Justin Herbert, playoff QBRs, 47.7 in the 31-30 loss to the Jags. They lost a 27-0 lead. 11.4 in the 32-12 loss to the Texans. He had 4 interceptions. 25 in the 16-3 loss to the Pats. He hasn't been good. He just hasn't been good, and he is your leader. I got shit from Yak saying, guy, he doesn't really have a wide receiver one. I mean, Quentin Johnson, he doesn't have a running back. I mean, Vidal was his running back. The kid out of UNC, Hampton, right? Hampton was that his name? Who's the? Oh man, what's the name of the running back? Rob, Chargers running backs. Omarion Hampton. He didn't play. He tried to make a go of it. He couldn't make a go of it. How about this? So that's Eagles. Everybody complained about the Eagles. Niners had no Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa. Kittle went out. Michael Williams, Rick Purcell, Brandon Ayuk, fifth and sixth string linebackers, and they got the win. Matt Mayoko, game-winning drive. Purdy 5 or 7, 42 yards, a touchdown. Picked up first down with a 5-yard scramble. Four game-winning fourth quarter drives in 7 postseason games. Yeah, Herbert has not been good in the postseason. We talked about that. Pats linebacker Robert Splint, I talked about this. Chargers players told him after the game they had no clue what coverage Pats were running. Carlos A. Lopez. You're telling me a team run by Jim Harbaugh had no clue what coverage the Pats were running against them? That's scary. That's scary to me, a Harbaugh run team to make mistakes like that. Doug Clawson said Bears 15 points in final, 4-18 on Saturday versus Green Bay. Chargers 15 points in 2 playoff games with Harbaugh and Herbert. Not good. And they didn't know what coverage? Like who's, and this is a team that made the playoffs, and Harbaugh is supposed to get better and better. I thought they took a step back this year. I really did. There was games they should have won. I know they lost 2 guys, Slater and Alt on the line, but Herbert's supposed to be this guy, and he really was not good. Pats have won 15 games, first time since 2017, including playoffs. Think NFL Plus. Andrew Callahan, Pats didn't allow fewer than 10 points, yes, in any regular season game. Bills, yes, Gabe Davis tore his ACL. Chris Boombaka, NFL playoff touchdowns, but Green Bay is hyped the last 2 years, but 7 seeded, no wins. Overrated? You know what? I think losing Parsons hurt them a lot this year. I thought listen, you're up 21-6 going to the fourth quarter, Rob. You got to win that game. I'm sorry, on the road. And I thought they should have a lot. I blame LaFleur. I think they took the pedal off the metal, and I thought Green Bay played a game like they were up by 60 when everything was working the first half. He was making passes, he was making plays, and then everything, it seemed they were passing every play. I mean, definitely the Bears tied it up second half, but you're up 21-6 going to the fourth quarter. You got to put them away. You're up 27-15. You got game's over, and it wasn't. So, yeah, play not to lose. You can't play it, and it never works. Yeah, so the Rams Panthers game at 8 touchdowns. Bears Bears, Green Bay 7. Jags, Bills 6 total touchdowns. San Francisco, Philly 5. New England Chargers 1. And then last night we had a lot of, well, 2 defensive touchdowns, which is more than in the New England. Yeah, that was crazy. Drake May passing yards per game in 24 was 175. This year he went up to 258, largest increase by second-year quarterback since 93-94. Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe. That's Chargers 0 points off 2 Pats turnovers, which killed him. A.J. Brown, 0 catches in the second half. 5th time this season, he had 0 catches in the second half. Same amount combined by Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, JSN from the Seahawks, and Pickens. They had combined they combined had 0 catches in the second half. All of them combined had 5 total. He had 5 games of 0 catches in the second half. That's not going to work. Yeah. And Justin Herbert, 31 rushing yards per game, career high. Yeah. That didn't help him. Didn't help him in the game, though. Last time Bears beat Green Bay in a playoff game, December 14, 1941, Citizen Kane released. Buy a home was $2,938. The minimum wage was 30 cents. Mount Rushmore was sculpted. Cheerios invented. 10 NFL teams. Thank you, Front Office Sports. Bills, so wild card round, Bills won with a touchdown, 104 left. Rams with 38 seconds left. Bears with 143 left. There was great games. Dennis Allen, defensive coordinator for Bears. No takeaways, 1 sack versus Green Bay. Put extra DBs on the field. 6 points second half. It worked. Much more aggressive that second half. Stafford, before he was hit, before his hit in his finger, 10 for 15 at 137 yards, a touchdown. After his hit, 14 to 27, 167, 2 touchdowns and interception. Dennis Allen, listen, always was a good DC. Not great, not a really good head coach, but a very good DC. Bears, Chicago was rocking. That place was so freaking it was beautiful. I love it. First ever playoff meeting between the Steelers and Texans. C.J. Stroud, a flea flicker. Jake Sawyer got the strip. Black got the recovery. Why? What? I mean, you're driving and you do these plays. You're like, what's going on here, guys? What are we doing? Adult dressed up in full Rodgers uniform. I thought it was creepy. It's some guy, Rodgers Realm on Instagram. He's got 279,000 followers. He dresses up in full uniform, and he's got to be mid-20s, late 20s, as Aaron Rodgers, and that's a thing. That's a creepy thing. Yeah. Tomlin, first 4 years, 5-2, 2 AFC Championship games, Super Bowl 43 win. Last 14, 3-10 in the playoffs. Yeah, 7 straight losses, 9 seasons without a playoff win. Yeah, they haven't won since 16? Yeah, it's a long time. Well, he's gone. That's what they wanted, right? Woody Marks, concussion, came back, ran for 100 yards. 3rd and goal with Will Anderson, pushed the ground, and Rodgers fell on top of the lineman. I mean, that was crazy. So they made it 7-6. Yeah, I don't. Cignetti coming to the Raiders, I don't mind that. C.J. Stroud, 13 to 20, $118, a touchdown. 2 fumbles lost, 4 fumbles total. And Nico Collins hit his face. They don't think he's going to be healthy enough to play next week. Rodgers coming in was 4-1 versus the Texans, 17 touchdowns and interception. Now 4-2. Gainwell and Warren ran for 24 yards in the first half. Gainwell had as many yards and catches, 21, as they almost had 24 yards rushing. DK Metcalf didn't have a catch in the second half. 2 for 42. Yeah, Yaya Black, fumble recovery, and Jake Sawyer's strip. Texans led at the half. Wow. Steelers were 0 for 6 in the first half, 1 for 1 on 4th down. Yeah, Texans were 30th in red zone regular season, 1 for 1. Texans average distance, this was in the third quarter, on 3rd down was 4.6. Steelers 11.6. Yeah, Steelers following first 2 takeaways, 10 plays, 9 yards. Brandon Eccles comes up huge. His first interception in the playoffs. First player to intercept C.J. Stroud in the red zone since 23. Rodgers stripped after turnover series, but Steelers recover. 3rd turnover. C.J. Stroud fumbles the snap, then throws 49 yards to Kirk. That was a really nice play. Nico Collins went out. They carted him off. Yeah. I never saw a low line, Fairbairn, a low line extra point that would have made it 31-6. He missed. Pick six, is that the last pass ever by Aaron Rodgers? He said, this is your last game. He goes, every game could be my last game. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Who talks like that? You're just an idiot. Just go away. You're just sometimes you're an asshole. Yeah, Arthur Miller sucks. DK Metcalf, second and third quarters, 0 targets. Pat, the tight end, got his first target. What the hell's the name of the tight end for the Steelers? Steelers tight end. I always get his name wrong. Steelers. Let's see. Steelers. Let's look him up. Okay, let's look at the stats. Yeah. So, C.J. Stroud, Mark Stewart ran for $112. Kirk had 144 on 8 carries. Higgins had 3 for 39. So but then Marks had 112, had a nice touchdown run. Rodgers was 17 to 43, $146, a touchdown, sacked 4 times. Warren and Gainwell combined for 63 yards rushing. Gainwell had another 26 to the ground. Freiermuth had 1 catch. That's it. One catch. Oh, he got 3 targets. That was his first target in the fourth quarter. Yeah, Freiermuth. This postseason, 12 lead changers in fourth quarter, 4 game-winning touchdowns in final 3 minutes, 4 comeback wins in the final 3 minutes, almost in a single postseason all time. I mean, awesome. It was awesome. Awesome. Yeah, sacked Rodgers 4 times, forced two turnovers, 2 touchdowns, defensive touchdowns. Hayden Winks. Steelers just gave third worst offensive outing, negative 0.48 EPA per play. Last 10 playoffs out of 230 games. Just gave the third worst. So out of the 230 playoff games, they gave the third worst offensive showing. 9th straight season with winning record and 0 playoff wins. Not good. And NFL Plus said players to have 5+ fumbles in a game and win, including playoffs, since fumbles first recorded in 1991. Eli Manning, Week 16, 2007, first the Bills. He said it was a weather game, and C.J. Stroud. 5 fumbles. Yeah, 5+ fumbles in a game and still win. C.J. Stroud, 5 fumbles, 3 on shotgun, snaps on shotgun, 21 to 32, 250, touchdown interception. Chubb had 48 on the ground. Kirk, as I said. Yeah, Willie Anderson, 3 tackles, half a sack, 3 quarterback hits, strip sack, a fumble. Daniel Hunter had a tackle sack, tackle for loss, 2 quarterback hits. Sheldon Rankins had 2 tackles, 1.5 sacks, tackle for loss, 2 quarterback hits, and a TD on the Anderson strip. Texans 10 straight wins. Kalen Bullock had a pick 6, 8 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 4 pass defense, 12 quarterback hits, 2 touchdowns. Damn. Ass kicking. Texans were 10 for 15 on third. Steelers were combined 4 for 17, 2 for 14 on third downs, 2 for 3 on fourth. Outgained 408 to 175, 21-13 first downs. Phew. Every game could be my last game. Well, first Texans road playoff game. Rodgers pressured on 17 of 37 dropbacks, 46%, highest in a postseason game since tracking began in 2009. They were there all game. Fewest points in a playoff game by teams with Rodgers at quarterback. Fewest points. Adam Wexler, DeMeco Ryans, first Texans coach to win 3 playoff games. Ryans has 3, Kubiak has 2, Bill O'Brien had 2. Next Sunday, he's going to earn the chance to be the first Texans coach to win a divisional round game in franchise history. And I'm rooting for him. With that defense, they're amazing. Tomlin now 8-12, as I said, 19 straight seasons without a losing record. The Texans were the first team with 2 defensive touchdowns since 2023. Brian Dable interviewing for the Titans job. Are you fucking kidding me? They need Brian Dable? Get the fuck out of here. Jessica Brand said Texans D recovered a fumble and touchdown. Recovered a fumble for a touchdown. Pick 6, joined the 1948 Browns AAFC Championship, the other team to do it. Where are you? Tomlin had a year of Fields and Wilson and said, I'm coming back. Coming back, a year of Rodgers, and guy walks away. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know why they went that route. I needed Patty on. Steelers first team to lose 5 straight playoff games by double digits. Steelers down 7-3 going to the fourth, outscored 23-0. TJ Watts, I said 0 for 5, 9 tackles and a sack in his playoff career. Ben Devine, Caleb Williams, 11 explosive pass plays, second half Saturday, most in any half in a game in NFL history in his first playoff game. He had a good second. Texans defensive end Will Anderson had 8. Daniel Hunter had 7, 15 pressures and 1.5 sacks versus the Steelers. 17 pressures of Aaron Rodgers. 17, 15 of them from Will Anderson. That defense is scary. Watts probably could get traded. Yeah, that's what they said. Him. Who's the guy they paid all the money for? Used to play on the Dolphins. The DB. He's making $20 million next year. What's his name? What's his name? Rob. Getting paid a lot of money from the Steelers. There's a lot of guys that are on very expensive contracts. Who's the Steelers deep? Hold on. Let me look at defense. Not Queen. Not Porter. Wow, did he had no defensive. Oh, Ramsey, Jalen Ramsey. They said Jalen Ramsey could be gone too. Jake Andrade, among 54 quarterbacks with 100-plus pass attempts in playoffs since 2000. Justin Herbert is 49th in yards per play with 6.4, 52nd in completion percentage, 54.7%, 53 in TD to interception ratio, 2-4, 53rd in pass rating, 64, and 53rd in time sack per game, 4. So not getting the job done. And only this is also from Drake Andrade. Only 2 teams to score multiple defensive touchdowns and allow 0 TDs in an NFL playoff game. Bears in 1940 when they beat the Redskins 73-0, and the Texans last night. Thad Brown said from Broncos from weeks 11 to 17, 6 games, the Broncos D was 17th in EPA per play, 24 in EPA per run per Summer Sports. Denver faced 6 of the top 12 offenses by EPA per play, 4 in the 6-week window. So they faced 6 in the top 12, and they Bills are 3rd in EPA per play. So he feels that the Bills are ripe for an upset, and I don't disagree. We'll see what happens. 49ers quarterback playoff wins: Montana 14, Young 8, Brock Purdy 5. And they picked up Bryce Young's 5th-year option, which is going to be at least in 27, $26.5 million. I think that was a great move. Jets signed Bailey Zappi to a futures contract. I know we're all excited about that. Yeah. Rob says, podcast Rob says Glenn will be, Broccoli Rob says Glenn will be fired by Halloween. He wants Dart. Now that he wants Chambliss. He says he has that it factor. I don't disagree. I feel like he has the it factor too. Yesterday was the 57th anniversary of the Jets Super Bowl III win. Nick Mangold would have been 42 years old yesterday, which is so. My whole lifetime, I'm celebrating a Jets from God knows when. Last time Bears, yeah, we talked about that. Stafford first team, Drake May second all-team, all-pro. Brian Burns second team, edge rusher. Rob wasn't happy. CMC was all-purpose first team. Puka, JSN, and Chase first team. Trey McBride first team tight end. David Blau, former quarterback. He quarterbacked for the Lions. He is Christian Gonzalez's brother-in-law because his wife competed in the Olympics, and I forget, was it she was an Olympic. She's American, but she competed. David, wow, yeah, his wife Melissa Gonzalez is, and I know I follow her already. She's a Colombian. She is a track and field Olympian. Yeah, she was in Tokyo. That's what I remember. So her brother is Christian Gonzalez on the Pats. So he is now the Commanders. He's the Commanders' offensive coordinator. They got him. They brought him in for the job. Josh Allen. Oh, this is another thing. This is Jordan Moore, who's from Massachusetts, who Josh Allen's beat in the playoffs. 40-year-old Phillip Rivers, Tyler Huntley, Mac Jones, Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, Bo Nix. First playoff game. Lamar Jackson, 3-5 in the playoffs. Never won road playoff game. That ended, thank God. Shane Trail, Rams recording secondary since week 12 allowed the 4th most passing TDs paired with average quarterback ratings of 93. 22 of 32 teams in the NFL. They didn't play a great game, but they got the win. In the end, that's all that matters. Bryce threw over half of his 23 touchdown passes since week 11. Closest season ranked in EPA per play, top 5, 13 of his touchdowns. He was also in completion percentage over expected, top 5. Had some costly turnovers. Penei Sewell, 2 straight Three straight first-team All-Pros. He's 25. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 26, made an All-Pro team 3 straight years. Aiden Hutchinson, 25, first-team All-Pro after injury. Jake Campbell, first Pro Bowl and first All-Pro, and they missed the playoffs. So Ben Raven, all that, and they're sitting home for the playoffs. So a lot of things that aren't working. Titans, Mike Garofalo, 100 million plus cap space. Cam Ward, high picks, new stadium. GM Mike Morganzi says Harbaugh likes the Titans. I would too. So GJ Lagway now did compete to Baylor. His dad played at Baylor, and now he's committed. Justice Haynes goes in the portal. He ran for 857, 7 yards per carry. And he is, 7.1 yards per carry. Big Ten looking for a third straight chip since 40-42. Gophers won at 40 and 41. Fourth and fifth chips in 8 years. They won a top of three showdown versus Michigan. That was the big rivalry of Big Ten's first 10 years. 41 Gophers, 8 wins, 186-38 point differential. 42, the dump one at 9-1. Wisconsin finished third. So they're going for a three-peat. Pete Nokos, Dylan Rolla. They said Ole Miss. Now he's going to Oregon. Trinidad Chambliss, 0 stars out of high school. Mendoza, 3-star. Dante Moore, 5. Whittingham never had a quarterback selected in the NFL draft in 21 years at Utah. That's a little concerning to me. How many top 25 rosters did each playoff team face in regular season? Indiana, 2. Ohio State, 3. Georgia, 7. Texas Tech, 0. Oregon, 2. Ole Miss, 7. Texas A&M, 9. Oklahoma, 9. Bama, 8. Miami, 4. Yeah, SEC is a tougher conference. But you know what? Hey, they beat the shit out of each other. That's not my fault. Hey, you know what? If they're that good, they should be beaten. That means if they're beating up each other, they still should be better than all the other teams, and they weren't. Lane Kiffin got $150,000 for making the college football playoff, $250,000 for a quarterfinal appearance, and so he made $900,000 in bonuses this year. But he lost that for the chip appearance, $750,000. Malachi Tony, I keep calling him, bashing his name, was 11 years old when Carson Beck was a freshman in college. Thank you, Connect Sports and Michigan. I feel like I read these already. First time in 15 years, college football natty game champion will be non-Nike school. Both are Adidas, Miami and Indiana. ACC commission, Miami making natty in postseason. This is good for the conference. 9-4 in bowls, 7-2 for his Power 4. Yeah, that's an emphatic statement. I would say that. Cam Coleman is going from Auburn to Texas. He's 20. He'll be a junior. 56, 7.085 touchdowns, 12.6. Wingo was the one who was recruiting him. And Hollywood Smothers ran for 959, 6 touchdowns, another 189 and a touchdown at NC State this year. So they got him too. The Collie Matrix says if Indiana loses to the Canes, it's still guaranteed at least a share of the national title per Reddit. Kyle Whittingham at Utah versus top 25 in his career, 22 and 37, 372 winning percentage. No bueno. 13-0, 2008. They blew out Bama in the Sugar Bowl, but 22 and 37 is not good. And former Penn State, Georgia corner Adrian Harris going to Indiana, 2-year starter at Penn State, 26 career starts, former top 50 recruit, 89 tackles, 6 pass breakups. And G.J. Langway, his father, Derek Lagway Sr., played running back at Baylor, 97 to 2001, 40 games, 711 yards, 6 touchdowns. Offensive coordinator, Jake Spavital. He has coached Geno Smith, Will Grier, Case Keenum, Robertson last year at Baylor, and Johnny Manziel. Since 2011, every P4 starting quarterback with at least 11 starts has thrown for 3,000 yards. He's the real deal. Bo Prabula from Missouri to UVA. Not really. Rodgers Salapaga, transfer portal from Oregon, 26 games, 3 catches, 26 yards, a touchdown. And Kendre Harrison is coming in, so they'll replace him. And Andrew Olish, who came from Penn State, he's going to replace him, so I think they're going to be fine. Minnesota, I talked about Coy Perrick, who's going to Oregon, the safety from Minnesota. Kentucky signed Louisville wide receiver Brock Kaufman, who in 24 last year as a senior in high school, he went from Louisville to Kentucky. He had 24 touchdown catches in his senior year of high school. So, I mean, again, we'll see what happens. Volstein, Michigan safety, TJ Metcalf, 58 tackles interception last year with the Michigan Wolverines. Yeah, and you know what? So I just realized I don't need to talk about all the bowl games that already happened. I talked enough with my man. Knicks, Josh Hart, mistake games came back. He passed Iman Shumpert, 266 steals to enter the Knicks all-time top 30. They beat Portland. They play the Kings tomorrow night, 123-114. The other night, 25-14. Portland fell 19-20-21. Billy Reinhart put that every team that's won an NBA championship won 27 of their first 40 games. Well, the Knicks started 24-14. That you have to win, start the season at least winning 27 of your first 40 to win the championship. Can the Knicks top it this year? I don't know. But Hart had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Brunson 26. They're at the Kings tomorrow. AD sustained ligament damage in left hand, depending on second opinion. Surgery required, could miss a lot of months. Nets lost yesterday, and I saw that Cooper Flag at 27. Thank you, Shams, for that one. Yeah. Rockets now have the worst three-point shooting percentage in NBA history over a 5-game span, a minimum of 175 attempts, 23.4. They went 2-3 of those games. Yeah, AD, you're shocked, huh? They went 2-3 in those games. They went 1-4 in those games. They beat the Suns. They lost twice to Portland, Kings, and Mavs. So they shot 23. What did they shoot? On at least 188 three-point attempts. That's what's going to kill Michigan. Michigan hasn't been shooting good. They lost to Indiana the other day. Most combined points, father and son, LeBron, Bronny are 1. Dell and Steph Curry passed Joe Bryant and Kobe Bryant with 38, 896. So they're only behind. Yeah, he's not going to catch LeBron. But LeBron has 42,601. Bronny has 91. Klay Thompson was 4 away with 3-pointers made from tying Damian Lillard for 4th all-time on the list. I just talked about your Knicks winning. And I talked about that they 27-13. That's the only way you make the – I don't know if that's true, but that's what they say. Michigan coming into a Wisconsin game had won 14 straight, decided by 4 points or less. First loss of the year, lost 91-88 at home. And Milton went to that game, and he watched the Pistons lost to the Clippers that night. They improved to Wisconsin improved to 11-5. Michigan fell to 14-1. Wisconsin entered the game, was 1-4 away from Madison, 0-5 against Q1 teams. Best win was Providence in a neutral court, 58.7 resume average. Next 2 weeks, they get at Minnesota, Rutgers, and Penn State. So maybe that'll turn things around. Made for March, thank you for that. Oh, and then they're at USC. Oh, they got USC and then Gophers. So their next 5 games are at Minnesota, home for Rutgers, at Penn State, home for USC, home for Gophers. Yeah, you're gonna eventually lose. But Vanderbilt's playing tonight against Nebraska's 16-0. They're 16-0. They get Oregon and Volunteers. Oh, Vandy is 16-0, and they're playing at Texas. So you have Nebraska's now. They haven't played a lot of teams, but they're still 16-0. So it's interesting. I love when teams like that come out, but then they start playing conference games and they start to fall into shit. UNC wins at home 87-84 over Wake this weekend. 500 win at the Dean Dome. I saw that Benjamin was at the game. They're 14-2, 2-1. Wake fell to 10-7. Caleb Wilson 11th double, 22-12. They're 590 at the Dean Dome now, open in 86. They visit Stanford on Wednesday, which is crazy. Stanford of the ACC. Seton Hall, first ranking in 4 years, 14-2, 4-1 in the Big East. They host 16-0 UConn, 16-1 UConn, 6-0 in the conference. That's today at the Rock. They came back against Georgetown. They're 4-0 on the road, 4-1 in the conference, 76-67. St. John's is tied with Seton Hall and Nova, 4-1 in the conference. Braden Smith of Purdue is 907 assists. With 907 assists, is 169 shy of passing Bobby Hurley for the record. 5 teams in the Big Ten top 13 net ranking. Number 10, Nebraska, 16-0. Highest ranking, AP ranking since 66. They host 8-8 Oregon tonight, 9 p.m. Purdue is 15-1 to 5-0. Michigan's 14-1 to 4-0. And I said, Vandy, yeah, tied for best start in school history. They're at Texas tonight, which is 10-6, 1-2 in the SEC. Ball is life. Yankees Saturday and Sunday night baseball, 6:28 at Boston, 7:19 against the Dodgers at Yankee Stadium, and 7:26 at Philly. Bregman. Now they want Nico Horner, who I heard is not available from the Cubs. Anyway, he plays second base, shortstop, and center field. And you know they're not going to move Volpe out. Cody Bellinger reportedly wants $37 million, which is fucking crazy. I mean, Judge is making 40, Vladdy Jr. 35, Tatis 24, Harper 25, Seager 32, Yamamoto 27, and Devers 31. Thank you, everything Yankees. Yankees are reportedly from John Heyman enhancing the belly offer. Opt out. Nice signing bonus, no deferrals. David Rifkin says go 5/156. Opt out after year 2. You know what, dude? He's not worth this money. Is anybody? That's crazy talk, right? Lindsey Vaughn, Mets are reportedly offering $50 million a year on short-term deal to Tucker. See, that's what I said. I think you should do a 3-year deal with Tucker and let him have an opt-out after 2 years. I think he'll take it. I like that, Rob. I like that a lot. Lindsey Vaughn won in Austria. She won her second downhill. First, so she had knee replacement surgery in 24, which is crazy. So 5 World Cup races this season, 0 first World Cup victory in nearly 8 years. Then she won her second one in Austria this season. Yeah, Lindsey Vaughn. Yes, she is attractive. Has been on podium every time this season. 5 World Cup races this season across downhill and Super G. Been on podium every time. An overall leader in downhill standings. Will be final season. She has 84 World Cup wins, 3 Olympic medals, and 8 World Cups. And 8 World Championships. Began in 2002, ended 2019. Had knee replacement in 24. 41 less than a month to Olympic races, and she's favored in the downhill. That's crazy. So the Jets, New York Jets, 17 games, they were in 3-14. The Winnipeg Jets went 2-15 in 17 games. Angus, but they got to win. Avs 17 wins in a row at home was broken, as I think it was broken. Yeah, they lost. Who the Avs? They lost at home yesterday. Michigan sent it to me. Let me see. Avalanche. They lost at home 4-3. Yep. Maple Leafs. They're 33-4-8. First home loss in 17 games. Bregman was offered 5 years, 65 by the Sox, but no full trade clause. Cubs came in at 5 for 175. Significant deferrals, and just baseball. And then Hal sent me this. So we went to see. I think it was year before. No, yeah, it was the year before. We went on the field, and one of the guys on his baseball team, his brother, Tyler Beatty, came in and gave up like 6 runs, and he got released by Cleveland. Last year, he spent in the White Twins organization. He got signed to a minor league deal by the Cubs. So hopefully he gets a shot and does something. So I'll be rooting for him. Dansby Swanson and Alex Bregman went 1-2 in 2015. They are the first National League, first 1 and 2 to play in the same team in the National League. 1985, B.J. Surhoff went 1, Will Clark 2. They were teammates 99 through 2000 on the Orioles. Thank you, Jessica Brand. 94, Paul Wilson and Ben Grieve went 1 and 2. 2001 and 2, they were on the Devil Rays. 2008, Tim Beckham went 1. Pedro Alvarez went 2. 2017 and 18, they were the Orioles. And 2012, Correa went first. Byron Buxton went 2. 22 through 25, they were on the Twins together. Kind of interesting, right? Wrexham knocked out Premier League club Nottingham Forest 4-3 in a shootout. First win in 26 years over a Premier League team. So Wrexham Soccer kicking ass and taking names. Blue Jackets fired Dean Evison on Saturday. Rick Bowness is a replacement. He was 19, 19, and 17, Evison, with the Blue Jackets. Last in the Eastern Conference. Bonus with the Jets from 22 to 24 went 98, 57, and 9, and took the Stars to the Stanley Cup in 2020. NHL just says you're eventually going to get a job again. It's just going to happen. Might not happen right away, but it'll happen. Buffalo's going to the NHL draft in 2026. First time since 2016. That fight at the Hershey's AHL game being investigated. No parents, no refs. Officials broke it up. Under 8 teams playing. That was kind of crazy. Yeah, I was like, and at the end, the goalie came and knocked somebody down. It was hilarious. 2006 career road wins for Panthers. Sergei Bobrovsky moved into a tie with Ed Belfour, third most in NHL history. Royals moving in fences, some of the fences at Kauffman Stadium by 10 feet and lowering height as well. Didn't the Orioles do that? Didn't they do that at Camden Yards? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got all these. Yeah, you know what? This already happened. All the football already happened. Yeah. Whoops, drop that. Okay, let me see. Did I miss anything else? Rob, did I miss anything? Anything else exciting happen? Hot take, Johnny. Holy shit. Ravens owner Stephen Biscotti entertained a wild idea after hearing that. So he wants Mike Tomlin? Is that true? Punters have mentor challenges too. Okay. All right. He says punters have mental challenges too. Yankees will acquire Ryan Weathers from Miami in exchange for 4 prospects. Okay. So Ryan Weathers, what did he do? Did he do anything? Oh, wow. I've been talking a while. Yeah, I can talk. Ryan Weathers, he allowed 1 run over 11 innings in the 96. Wait, he's the son of David Weathers, who allowed 1 run over 11 innings in the 96 postseason for the Yankees. They gave out infielders Dylan Lewis, Brendan Jones, along with infielders Dylan Jasso and Juan Matthias. Lewis and Jones both rank among the top 20 MLB pipelines. Lewis is one of the, well, it doesn't matter. He's gone. Weathers, for 3 seasons and has 1 minor league option remaining, in 25 is derailed by a lat injury, limiting him to just 8 starts. He pitched to a 3.99 ERA, 30 in the 30s. Fred Warren is going to practice again. Yeah, he said he thinks he'll be back. He throws a fastball 97 miles an hour. Yay! So Ryan Yarbrough attentively in their 5-man rotation. Oh, so Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Clark Schmidt sidelined to begin the season. Oh, so that's what they're hoping for. All right. Well, good luck with all that, buddy. Clay and Cody Bellinger. Are you telling me about all guys that play? Oh, for the same team? Oh, that's a lot right there, Rob. Hey, look at you. You're on fire today. Yeah. Fred Warner is going to play. If he plays this game, it'd be great. Clay and Cody played for the Yankees. Mark Jr., Mark and Mark Jr., Ron and Ike Davis. Oh, Yogi, Yogi and Yogi and Dale Berra. Yeah. Dale had a lot of cocaine problem. Cocaine, he'd like to call it. The cocaine. Yeah. Not say we're not a pushover. Don't ever give me a starting tight end that can't block well. I agree. Yes. David Stern's eyeing improvements. Still likes New York's incomplete. Why? Oh, new Hoops League Project B heads to Tokyo in April 2027. Players will receive larger salaries than WNBA currently offers. Ooh. So they're trying to counter the WNBA. New women's and men's basketball league will make a stop in Tokyo. Its tournament will be one of 7 stops on circuit season format that begins in November and runs through April. Each city will host a 10-day event that crowns a local champion and feeds in a season-long championship race. There will be men's and women's tournament games in Tokyo being played at the Tokyo Arena, March 26th through April 4th. 66 players divided into 6 teams. Oh. Jonquil Jones, Jewel Jones, Kelsey Mitchell, Alyssa Thomas, and Neka Ogwumike. Mai Yamamoto will also compete in the league. The men's teams will be, Financial specifics haven't been disclosed. Yeah, I guess we're going to see what happens there. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. Right? Time will tell. All right. Seton Hall's on True TV tonight. That's bonkers. That's just bonkers. Knicks play the Kings tomorrow with Carolina Stanford tomorrow. When Mike Tomlin got hired as coach, these were the coaches in the NFL. This is when he was hired. The rundown of NFL head coaches the last time someone other than Mike Tomlin was coaching the Steelers. Dennis Green, Jim Mora, Brian Billick, Dick Joran for Buffalo, John Fox, Lovie Smith, Marvin Lewis, Romeo Crennel, Bill Parcells, Mike Shanahan in Denver, Rod Marinelli in Detroit. They went 0-16. Mike McCarthy in Green Bay. Garrett Kubiak. Tony Dungy, Indiana. Indianapolis. Jack Del Rio. Herm Edwards. Nick Saban. Nick Saban was in Miami. Brad Childress. Sean Payton. Bill Belichick. Tom Coughlin. Eric Mangini with the Jets. Art Shell with Oakland. Andy Reid with Philly. Bill Cowher in Pittsburgh. Marty Schottenheimer, who was passed. Mike Holmgren. Mike Nolan in San Francisco. He didn't last long. Scott Linehan from St. Louis. He didn't last long. John Gruden, Jeff Fisher, and Joe Gibbs. That's crazy. Thank you for that. It's Matt Zenitz. That to me is bonkers. Yeah, Tomlin, they said, could be picked up by anybody because Fox has not replaced Jimmy Johnson. Matt Ryan is leaving CBS. Most touchdowns in the fourth quarter and overtime, 2025, including playoffs. Josh Allen with 18, Stafford with 16, Caleb Williams with 13. Thank you, NFL researcher, for that one. We talked about most wins by quarterback. Maple Leafs and Avalanche's 7-game home win streak with a 4-3 win in overtime. Yep. That's the end of the Texans kicked their asses. Oh, I want to get this woman on the show. Former Texas State track and field. What's her name? I wrote her name. Nelly. She is a referee now in college football. Yeah, so I'm trying to get her on a show. Most consecutive playoff losses. Tomlin now is tied with Marvin Lewis. Marty Schottenheimer had 6. Mora had 6. And Steve Owen had 6. 7. That's bad. Marvin Lewis. And he had some good teams. I think if who was the number one quarterback? Oh, is Rob still here? Who was the quarterback? Carson. What the hell's his name? The USC quarterback who went number 1. If he hadn't got hit in his knee by the Steelers, I think they would have won. I think they would have Carson. What the hell's his name? USC number 1 quarter. USC number 1. Carson Palmer. And this was great. Michigan gave me this about the Rangers. Rangers found dead in Boston. With Chris Drury still employed, Rangers get sent through the 9 circles of hell in Boston. Did you see that? Yeah, that's one. And then this one, if you own a Rangers jersey and live in the New York area, be at practice Monday at 10 a.m. Welcome to Rangerstown. I thought that was hilarious. A wild card weekend, Chiefs Ravens in Cancun. I was going to use that picture today, but I decided not to. The cheese grater in Chicago. I thought that was a funny ass picture. This also, I didn't think this was a big deal, but Sunday, Bears came back and win in the NFL playoffs. Blackhawks won 3-0. Bulls beat the Mavs 125-107. And the Cubs signed 3-time MLB All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, Alex Bregman. They talked about it like it was a great day in Chicago history. And I was like, nah, maybe the one thing. Yeah. And we had the number 1 rusher versus the number 1 rush defense. So Adrian Peterson against Seattle at 45 yards. DeMarco Murray against Detroit at 75. Curtis Martin at 77 against Pittsburgh in 2004. And Jamal Lewis had 35 against Tennessee. Number 1 defense won 3 of 4 matchups, except that one. Yep. Make it, yeah. Since 2000. Crazy. Well, the defense won 3 of 5 because they lost that game too. And hockey, they had a full house, packed house at WHL Arena for Washington and Washington State. Huskies thrashed the Cougars, putting up a double digit in a 10-0 win. That's ugly. But hockey house pot. And top 10 early predictions, way too early, in college football. Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, LSU, Tennessee, Florida, Auburn. No Michigan there. And each team number of players at the Olympics. The Lightning have 11. The Panthers and the Wild have 10. Vegas has 9. Avs and the Devils have 8. Bruins and the Stars have 7. Senators and the Sharks have 6. 5 for the Ducks, Blues, and Caps. 4 for a shitload of teams. 3 for the Rangers, Oilers, Sabres, and Leafs. The Islanders have 1. Bo Horvat, 1. Thank you, Slapshot, for that one. Yeah. Pressure leaders in this playoffs. Anderson and Hunter are 1 and 4. I'm trying to see who else those are the Christian Barmer's up there, but Will Anderson, Josh Hines Allen, he's gone. Nick Benito still hasn't played his first game, so we'll see what happens on that front. Yeah, Chip Kelly's losses in 4 years at Oregon. He lost to Boise State 14-0. Stanford with Luck, Gerhard, and Harbaugh. Ohio State finished number 5. Auburn won Natty. LSU played for Natty. USC finished number 6. Stanford finished number 6. So they've been close, but haven't won the big thing. So, yeah, the first Olympic test event for the Olympics is being delayed because there's a giant hole in the ice. They brought out a watering can to try and patch it. Chris Johnson, that's not good. I mean, that's a little crazy. That's bonkers in my opinion. Yes, that's everything I wanted to. Yeah, that's it. Oh man, Wayne Gretzky. I talked about this. He looked like Frankenstein. All right, Rob, are you here? If you're here, I'll do a trivia question. All right, Rob. Rob's here. He's been good. All right, Rob. First trivia question. The only player in MLB to appear in every postseason since 2017. Who is the only player in MLB to appear in every postseason since 2017? He is an active player. This season, he will go for his 10th in a row. Do you know who it is? Maybe Rob isn't here. Maybe Rob left. I think he's here. If he's not here, that's okay. He's busy. I guess we will save that for another day. Rob, I want to thank you for listening. Michigan's coming home soon. It's 8 o'clock. I just realized I got to get off here. So we will save the trivia question for next show. JD talking, a lot of talking today, a lot of cards. We got through a lot of stuff. I love you all. Peace out. Have a great night. Talk to you soon. All right. Peace out, Bubba. You didn't do the trivia question. All right. Well.